Hello, welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome
Hey.
back. We are the welcoming committee. Welcome back, everybody. We've got over 500 people that are coming in, so it will take a couple of minutes. Thank you for your patience, as always. Welcome
600.
back.
Yo. What's happening?
Welcome, guys. Welcome. If you were not with us this morning, just give us a shout out in the chat. How was your day? How are you doing? How has your week been? How are you all? We are really excited to be back.
Who was here in the morning session?
Give us a thumbs up or a yes if you were here this morning. Me, yes. Lots of yeses. Cool. We still got a bunch of people that are being let in.
I think that's what's great about it, Gina. None of this is scripted. It's so you get to learn different things, second time round. That's why the guys come back, because it's whatever comes to mind, it's
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's live, it's live trades.
Yeah, it's live.
And I think also what's so cool is, the teaching is also determined, and the learning is determined by what the crowd brings as well, which is what makes it very powerful. So I think a lot of people's questions get answered just through the 3 or 4 people that share in the session.
Yeah.
Cool.
Amazing. Nice to see. There's quite a few people back. There's quite a new people. Yeah, what's up? I'll bring just as much energy as the first one. The first guy this morning, did you take the link short? That was a fantastic trade. It played out beautifully. Guys, we got this. Like, we have this. We just keep pushing and we keep learning and we just keep going. Like, we have this. Welcome, everyone. I can't believe the chats, how quick the chat moves here. What's up, guys? Please pop there. I want to know where everyone's from. How's the day going? What's happening out there? Let's get a bit of energy flowing. And then I promise you, I'll bring you some alpha, maybe even a lot of alpha. But I'll definitely keep providing more than what's on the course. That's the ultimate goal. I'm learning lots from you guys. I appreciate. Oh,
nice.
There's a couple of people from Cape Town. Look at me. Mexico, Pakistan. What's up? Romania,
got loads of
Vietnam,
Europe,
Toronto, Canada, London, Sweden, Kenya, Netherlands, Australia, Portugal.
Basically the world.
Guys, when we're done this course, like, you guys are all over. Like, I still want to travel the world. So, like, hit me up and like, let's I'd love to come see you guys. I can't believe it's everywhere. What's happening,
Amazing.
guys? So remember, I want to welcome you guys. Just a quick before Gina continues there. Welcome back. Remember, I'm adding as much alpha I can over here, more than what's in the actual course itself. Remember, this is a place for you to ask me any questions. We actually enjoyed the earlier session because the guys were really, I'm gonna jump into charting. I'm gonna get back into charting, work a little bit on the time frames again. Give you a little bit of structure of understanding ranges and percentages, and then we'll jump into actual building the businesses and knowing that what we learned last week about time frames, which was great and phenomenal, understanding what they finally for, the fact that you could take a percentage of your portfolio and attach it to one time frame with one strategy and one rule system, boom. Like, the amount of work you're doing on your foundation now builds your skyscraper. Very simple. I said it this morning. The more you work now and hard, and it's not that long. I think people think that it takes you a few weeks, like a few months or a year or two. Like, I promise you, by the time you're done sniper school, your foundation's built. So build it with me in this time. And what we can do is we can build a foundation for every time frame. So you can start splitting up your portfolio to each one of them and ultimately learn how to run 3 to 5 businesses. Very simple. Sometimes, like today, there's probably 3 businesses that are not available right now. But guess which one? The weekly stochastic has hit the floor for the first time in the last 6 weeks. And your big part of your portfolio and the big part of that company should be offloading and should be getting ready to explore. There's a few of the smaller ones that shouldn't be just yet. You've got to wait for those RSIs. But do you see how you're just going to shift when the chart tells you to each one with a simple rule system and a simple structure to all of it? Like, guys, and then all you need to do for the next 3 to 5 years is stick to it. That's all you have to do. Build the structure now and stick to it and follow it. Cool, Jenna, you can continue and then we'll jump back on.
Amazing. I think what we just wanted to...
670 people. Wow.
Unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Thank you all for making time to be with us, wherever you are in the world, clearly from far and wide. I think we wanted to just start with some inspiration, to hear some success stories from people in the crowd. It's always so nice to just get a sense of, where you've been, where you've come from, and what you've achieved, and whether it's this week or over the last few months. And we already had such an amazing comment from Christian Sambo. Christian, if you are with us, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. If you are available to unmute yourself and chat, we'd love to hear. You shared such an amazing thing in the chat about what you've achieved for your family from all the things you've learned from Sheldon. Are you here with us? Do we find Christian anywhere? Okay, well, in the meantime, while we're pulling him up, just to share this amazing comment, he said, I've been following you since May, and I just paid for a vacation for my family with my earnings. So thank you lots and lots. So
Congrats.
that's awesome.
Nice.
Very, very awesome
Well
success story.
Nice.
Well done.
I see
Christian,
Paul
there we
said
go.
shorted twice for the first time, and won both trades. Phenomenal. You see how people are starting to learn how to short, and you don't have to be a leverage trader. You don't have to borrow the money. You're learning how to make money when the market's going down, guys. This is a completely new skill, but it's so important to understand and to do it, because now you can literally make money anytime. And I think that people don't realize that if you're only a one-directional trader, it's great, but you can only trade probably, to be honest, probably 4 to 6 months in a whole year. If you can learn how to trade the market both ways, now the whole year is accessible to you and you can trade whenever, which is crazy. So it's not about the leverage part or borrowing money. Screw that. Like, we don't care about that. It's just learning how to make dollars when the market's going down. What's up, Christian? The mic is not working. I don't know why. Sorry, man. I'm not sure why it's not. Just double check on your little microphone thing there in the left with the arrow that it's just selected.
in the meantime, while we're waiting for Christian, if anybody else would like to share.
Me now?
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Yo.
Yes. Sorry, it was
What's happening?
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much. As I said,
are you chilling on the moon or what?
No.
Yeah, it looks like you're chilling on the moon. Looks like you're with Elon Musk there.
Yeah, no. So I actually started I heard of you guys last year, and I did follow 1 or 2 of your YouTube videos. But since May, I said I want to just start trading. And I remember I had 100 euros, and I just put it in. And even the first Sunday when I spoke about I don't know if you remember, I spoke about having the orphanages, and one thing that I wanted to do is to have a family vacation.
Yes,
And I
remember.
managed this last weekend to get to that point where I achieved that goal, to have a really all-inclusive, full-paid vacation for me and my family. And that's the first time that I took my earnings. And I'm very excited because I did it even without really understanding. The only thing that I was doing is just copying. I was really watching. I have my notes here. Every time you speak, I write down. And I just followed everything. I didn't really understand it. I was just following. And now that I really have this tool, I can truly understand what it is. And even in the morning, I was saying that for the last 2 weeks, I didn't really have much time. So I was just using the RSI strategy. And even that is really giving me some gains with that. So I just have my lines in the RSI there, and I just have alarms. And because I don't really I've had some time this 2 weeks to do anything concerning, the trend line and following all of that. So no, thank you very much.
That's incredible, brother. Like, well done.
done.
Like, I know you may not make full sense of it now, but please just remember, go back on that trade and go to your trading journal and just document why you got it right. Like, what did you do in that time? It may have been just like, I saw the RSI and I just went for it. But ultimately, please remember to document your wins too, so that we could, we had a lady on this morning, like I said, that's 7 out of 10 that she hit it. Like, you have to crunch on that because you got it right. And you have to put that in your rule system and put that in your book now, because you want more of that. Isn't it nice? Doesn't it feel great?
Exactly. And it's for me, indeed. The only thing that I didn't do, in all those months, I know you said it before, but I didn't keep a journal. So now with the school, I started, and so now I'm really going into that also. But
Yes.
it's an amazing journey. It's an amazing journey, and now I'm really understanding what I'm doing, because honestly, for me, it was just like copy trading. I was just copying you, and even when Ran is on and he would give something, I would do that. When Dupes Kyle would be on, I would do that. So I was just copying that, and of course, you gain some understanding, but not like with the school, not like with the
Yes.
school. So
No, no,
I'm very excited
fantastic.
to see.
That's
And
absolutely.
I was talking to my dad about it today, and he said, no, I'm going to send you money because you need to teach me now how to do it.
Tell him to start with school
So good.
fees. Tell him to start at the
Yes,
basics. Like that.
exactly.
That's
No,
the
thank
big
you
thing.
very much, guys.
Well
Thank
done,
you very
Christian.
much
Well
for
Well
done.
done,
this.
Well done. Well
Christian.
done.
Well done.
Awesome. What a great story. Thank you for sharing. Let's hear from
Yes.
Vicky. Vicky, you're up next.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes,
What's
we
up?
can. Go for it.
I can
Hello.
hear you, Vicky.
I don't know why you pulled me up. I commented, I just said, like, I found it so much easier simplifying. Like, I've been trying to learn everything and do everything on every time frame.
Oh, really? Trust me,
yeah,
me too. I think I started a year after that I only started to like, what? I only need one time frame? What?
yeah. So it's just crazy.
Incredible.
I've just been looking at sort of so simple, just the 1 hour RSI, stock RSI, and just doing it, and it gives me a take profit, which I've always struggled with. Like I just always overthink it and overanalyze and either take it too early or let it go back. And so that's been really helpful.
Oh,
The
that's
only
incredible.
question, while
Yeah.
I've got you actually, on that, so when quite often it fakes out and sort of goes along the top or along the bottom for a while, is there anything you
Yes.
pair with that to sort of try and figure out if it is a fake out or if it's gonna do what you expect?
So if you have a look here, so I'll actually answer on this and jump on. Can you guys see my screen? Just give me a thumbs up, please. Gina?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep, you're
Cool.
good.
Amazing. So the way you sort of look at it is you could see over here how it's sort of tapered at the top there for a while. Okay. Now, sometimes the RSIs do sit and like just rally, like they can just hang at the top for a while or they can hang on the bottom. Now, the only thing that you can like really pair with this is horizontals. Now, you must remember that in order for this chart or this token right now, if I just look at it as it is, when it was starting off on this little run here, in order for it to progress, it had to get past a few levels, right? The first one was this previous little high over here. The second one was that high over there. The third one was that one over there. So ultimately, you would see the RSI make its way up to the top. Okay. And then you'll see it start to get to the top. And let's say it starts to, trend sideways or it's just getting to the top now. You can actually have a look where it is right now to the nearest resistance. And if it's through it, you will actually go to where is the next one after that. Okay. And I'll show you here. So remember, you're always using previous data. So you're taking currently where you sit right now over here. There's your previous high, there's your previous low. But let's say, let me actually show you this little tool. Have you guys been using this tool? Please use it. If you want a paper trade, we heard someone this morning say paper trade. Please use this tool over here. Why is it not selecting it now? Let's see if I can do it on this one. This tool, yeah. Please use this little tool over here, because then you can basically cut it back and you can play it like you would trade it. So you could basically go like that, and then where's my little bar?
At the bottom, brother. So hit it again. It's the play button in the bottom of the middle.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. It's changed.
Yeah.
So what you're able to do, guys, is you're able to actually play this out again. So you can go to a chart or go to any of the tokens, and you can basically go back and cut it all the way, and then be like, okay, cool. This is where let me start fresh. Let me trade this and see if I can get it right. And remember, ultimately, what would happen? Let's go back to where it started over here. So ultimately, when this started, this is how it would look, right? And you would say, okay, cool. There's my first target. Right now, if we have a look, RSI is just crossed. There's my first target. There's my second. There's my third. That's my little bit of a laddering system going up. Now, all of a sudden, the market does decide to continue. It starts to make its way up. You got your entry. Starts to do well. Great. Now, if you have a look over here, let's let it play out. Cool. So you basically had this point where it started to drag. Okay. Now, when it started to drag, you could see how it actually broke through this point over here. And I'm just showing you, I don't know if this example will work 100%, but ultimately, if the RSI gets to the top, it gets to the top like it is over here, and it decides to break a resistance, it's showing that it can stay at the top for a while and make its way to the next target. So if you ever see, like even here, when the market all of a sudden starts to break this, now we broke resistance and RSI is at the top, but look how it will continue to the next nearest high. And you can see if I mark it out, it'll probably hit the closing candle exactly. Let me show you. Let me put this line over here, exactly on this one there. And where did price hit? Boom. Exactly, literally to the T. It hit that one over there. So I don't know if this example will work 100%, but the way you do it is there is gaps in trading. And basically all the previous highs and the previous data are levels that we could either reject to or next levels that we should get to after we progress. It's like stepping up ladders. Okay. And after this one, you'll always jump to the next data that's higher than that on the left. And ultimately, like I said in the course, let's actually make this bigger. Like I said in the course, let's get rid of this. There we go. Ultimately, like I said in the course, you can actually set up these laddering systems all the way up to all the resistances on where your trade can actually get. So the tool that basically helps with that is to see where are you. So if you've recently come from a breakdown over here and we're starting to break these levels and RSI's at the top, there is a possibility that it will continue through to the next line. So it is quite tough to understand that. Secondly, you can run your shorter time frame trend lines. That trend line would have detected not only that we were losing steam, so that would have given you a pure indication, or this is where a support trend line becomes extremely powerful. Remember what I'm doing. I'm still using my 1 hour analysis. I made the data and I made the trade for the 1 hour. I can jump to the 15-minute to zoom in and put lines. I'm not changing my analysis though. I'm not changing my stop loss to the 15-minute. Like I'm keeping everything the way it was planned. But do you see what would have happened here? That if you know your RSI is getting to the top, I'm just using 15 minutes or 1 hour, doesn't matter. But if it's getting to the top, and you're like, maybe it will break through. This trend line will always be something that can help you with that. Because if this continued, it would have continued up. And it would have basically broke through that level. And then once we dropped that, it could have been a take profit for you. So using the support trend line and the horizontals, if you want to get like super persistent for getting tops and bottoms. But other than that, if you just use the stochastic RSI, you're going to win trades. And if you just win trades consistently, remember the 1 hour right now. And I think if I jump to this chart over here, if I look right now, it's probably offering, 3 to 4% moves on Bitcoin. But if I jump to the 4 hour chart, all of a sudden, I'm only trading 2 or 3 times a week, but it's offering me now 7 to 8%. So remember, if you're not getting the percent growth that you're looking for there, you can shift into the higher time frame, slightly trade a little bit less, but you're getting the higher percentages that you actually want. Remember, you just want to find a consistent system that's making you win trades. And ultimately out of that, you'll continue. So if the RSI does get to the top, maybe you've broken a resistance, you can use the next resistance and maybe hold on tighter, but it is going to trick you. It is going to try get you to hold on too long. So use a support trend line as well. If that makes sense, Vicky.
Yeah, no, that's really helpful because I actually, it's funny you say that. I've spent today back testing, doing that the rewind thing. And I think
it's fun.
Yeah. no, it's great. And you really can see, and I was quite surprised how many, I think it had like a 60-70% win rate. Some were smaller, but some were really big, obviously. And then like, as long as I stuck to my rules and the stop loss was always only absolute maximum 5%, like you're fine, you're home.
Yes, guys, I see a lot of people saying very confusing. I'll simplify it for you now once I'm on the charts. So once I'm on the charts, I'll go through all of that. Thank you, Vicky. I appreciate it. Good
really
question.
helpful.
It helps
Thank
me.
you very
It
much,
helps me as well.
There were just
I'll
two
go
more.
through it again, guys.
Perfect. There were just 2 more comments that I wanted to pull from the chat, just some great stories. And we've got Mary lined up. Mary, are you with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Please share. You posted such a great comment, and I just thought it was really just so worth sharing.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I'm shy with the camera, but I'm Kenya. I'm from Kenya. My name is Mary, and I've been doing the
Hi,
trading
Mary.
classes. Hi, Sheldon. I'm happy to speak to you. So yes, I'm from Kenya, and I was doing your trading classes. And normally I'm in this group where we have a lot of men who do trading. They're trading and they do charts. And I keep following, but I don't understand what they're talking about. Like they say MS, they say RSI. I was just trying to understand. So I was watching YouTube videos, reading books, but I didn't understand. So when I did the classes with Sheldon, everything was so simple. Like I was so happy doing it. Was like it was really, really, I'm so excited. It was so nice. You have no
Oh, that's
idea how I
amazing.
am to learn these things. Yeah. As a woman, I mean, in a male-dominated space, it feels sometimes you feel really low that you don't understand. But when you learn this and you understand, now I'll be talking their language now.
Well
That's
done.
amazing. Yeah.
Well
And I
done.
promise you, sorry guys, like women are better than us. Like they really are. Like my lady, like they are. Like you guys just have like more patience. I don't know. Guys are like we just want it. We want action. You know what I mean? We like very much women like are more balanced. I don't know why. But it's very true.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for sharing, Mary. That's so
Well
awesome.
done, Mary. Well done. I'm proud of you.
Well done, Mary.
I think you speak for probably a lot of women across the world who have historically felt inferior because it's like seen to be a men's game. But I think it's really awesome that Sheldon, the information you're sharing is empowering people. Very, very cool. And then finally we had Aaron. I don't know if Aaron is queued and ready. Aaron, are you there?
Hi guys. Yeah.
Yes. Hey, go for it.
What's
Hi,
up?
cool. So hi Sheldon, how's it going, man?
Good in you, bro. Good in you.
Brilliant. So I first bought Bitcoin probably when it was like 6,000 or 7,000 before, like in the beginning of this last bull run. And I was a complete chance trader. So I was just going long. I had no idea what I was doing. I managed to just blindly like 10x my money. And I literally thought I was like, I was
king.
the Don of trading. And like, I'm talking like laser eyes on the profile picture. I thought I was like the Don of all trading. And then I was royally humbled when I was long at like 66,000 or something like that. And I've got this huge trade. I even screenshotted it to send it to my friends. It was so big, in profit. But the thing is, if I'd done this course before that, and by the way, I lost basically all of it in the obviously in the bear market. So if I knew all the things I've learned so far, not only would I probably made more money, but I actually would have kept it. So
Yes.
I would have been massively humbled. So I guess anyone who's just kind of getting into it now, like you're so lucky to have all this information when you're starting out, because obviously it's watching it all go up and come all the way back down is so humbling. And obviously now I understand why the trades are winning, but also why I'm not winning the trades if I don't win them. So just want to say
incredible. That's incredible. I don't think people realize that what's worse, like coming in and losing money, or coming in and making millions and then losing it. Like which one hits you harder? Like I get you, bro. I felt exactly the same.
You know what the nicest thing about this, Aaron, is you this next time you ain't gonna let it happen. And I think that's all of it. And a lot of people have gone through that. And now that you're learning this now, we've got another bull run coming. Yeah, we see it might still take some time. But guess what? You're going to do it again, and you're going to do it 10 times better, and you're going to bank it this time. So
there's TPs,
there's
TPs.
Those TPs, bro. But remember what I spoke about. What is TPs? How do you know when to take profits? You know, the biggest reason you made tons of money and you gave it back because you had no idea what the money was for. You had no idea what you were even doing it for. You had no structure, no that. So ultimately, you have to build that on the next one. Do you know it yet, Aaron? Do you know how much money you want to make on the next one? Calculated, because you now know what this market can do. Do you know what it actually is? Because you must. I'm telling you now, Aaron, I'm going to shake you like, there's one more. We're lucky that Bitcoin's back at 17K, but please get that roadmap. Please make sure you know the amount of money and what it's for, and when you're flushing it, and then give yourself that little 10 to go crazy and lose it all again. but only like 5%, bro. The rest you need to like seriously just work on it, please. Aaron, it's because I promise you, when it comes and it goes there again, it's gonna try everything that it can to change your mind again, everything that it can. It's gonna get there, and you're gonna be like, this thing's gonna go more. I'm back again. You know, I'm the Don again, and you're gonna go back to laser eyes, and it happens.
Laser
bro.
eyes.
It is, because I remember that time and that stage of the top. It was so much fun. Like life is just great because everyone is happy. Everyone is happy. Everyone's flowing, and you don't think straight. So please remember that not only when you write that down and you build your thing, like put a little bit of emotion behind there too, of how you feel right now. So when you sit and you read that at that point, you can actually see and feel like you take yourself back to that bear market, take yourself back to that present point of when you're done, so that you don't get that. Because I promise you, we've done it now twice. It was that May crash last year, then the push, and then the second one up. We did it twice. That we knew a thing, and it just creeps up on you. So well done, firstly, for sticking it out. Be very grateful. I'm grateful that Bitcoin's back at 17K. It means we got another shot. And just build that structure, bro. Build it, understand it, because you really want to enjoy. The next one's going to change your life forever, bro. Like enjoy it, embrace it. You know what I mean? And have fun, and then teach people. You know, and don't trade for other people, please. I made that mistake. Don't do it. Cool.
Just, well, I guess one other thing was the fact that I was also copy trading a lot of people, but the thing is, when their trades don't win, you don't learn the lessons as to why. So I just say that's another thing I learned. So like learning how to do it yourself and having the trading journal and actually understanding why it didn't work, they're so powerful, because if you lose on someone else's trade, you just get annoyed at them, but you don't actually understand why, and you're not taking responsibility for it either.
Exactly.
100%.
And ultimately it becomes, that's why when I joined, Sniper School was supposed to start like the first 3 months that I was in. This is where I want to be. This is what it's about putting your own skin in the game, doing it together with hundreds to thousands of us, learning by ourselves, and actually understanding what the hell we're doing. Because people make money by fluke, and that's why they lose it by fluke too, because you don't understand. So well done, Aaron. I appreciate it, brother.
Thank you so much.
Cool.
Awesome. I know there are so many people that we've got people with hands up. We've got so many comments and questions, and I think we
guys,
must get into the meat.
Yeah, let me go through a little bit of alpha. Let me go through some charts for you guys, and then we can go through some questions on that. Yeah, we can basically go from there. Now, guys, big thing that's happened in the week now is I've asked you guys to start setting out your trading journals. And just before I bring out the charts and I start jumping on a little bit of that, remember and put yourself back into the understanding of what we're doing. Foundation, right? What does that mean? It means we understand what every single time frame does for us, and whenever we can use it throughout our journey. We know that a 1 hour offers us 10 trades. I'll have a look exactly the numbers. 10 trades every 7 days. We know our 4 hours offer us 3 trades every week. Our 8 hour offers us 2 trades. Our 12 hour offers us 1 trade. Our daily offers us 1 every 10 days. Like, now we have an understanding of what that is. Then what you do secondly is you take your portfolio now and you'll be like, okay, cool. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? What am I using this for in my life? I have $1,000. This is my gold. Ultimately, I hate my job. I hate what I do. Okay. But this $1,000 is definitely not going to let me make that decision. Okay. But what will make me that decision? Or what will be that? And basically, you can set that out. $20,000 will make me at least dedicate 6 months or something like that. Okay. But seriously, guys, this is how it's going to work. And you basically got to split your portfolio up. You got to split it up into different sections. Now, for example, when I started off, I needed something that made me $100 a day. Okay. So when I started off, I had I think $400 or something like that. I basically took $50 out of that $400, and I'm like, I need to build this into a business that generates me $100 a day, which meant that I had to get it to $1,000 to a $2,000 account to make that quite easy. You know, to make a 5% every trade, a trade a day. You know, I got to get that account to at least $2,000. So that's the first thing. So I'll take that 40 out. I put it in a separate exchange. Now you have Bybit, OKX, BitGet. You can split them in between and start separating your cash to what it actually needs. Then what you do is you take that cash and you assign it to one specific time frame. Okay? On each and every single one of them. Like I said, if I show you guys charts right now, I'll show you how you actually read this and you see the difference here. Right now, as a short-term trader for the daily, you're interested, a long is in the position for a nice little long. What do you do firstly? Firstly, put out a few horizontals. So let's do a little bit of training here. Horizontals. There we go. Previous high over here, support as we speak. RSI at the bottom. Trend line is at that area over there. So still a while for a trend line. Now, a trend line is something that you use to add to positions. I spoke about this earlier this morning. So either you use a trend line as a confirmation, but understanding that a trend line is something that, you know, the damage has to be done first. So basically price comes down, settles for a while, and then breaks its way up. Okay. Then you also have the second one where you basically buy a waves pullback. Now, remember, when it comes to, you know, the different tools that we use and all of that, a Fibonacci tool is one of them. I think let me actually jump here and explain this to you guys. Here we go. Cool. So you get the 3 different waves. This is very important. Once you got your time frame and you've sort of understood that what that time frame is, remember, you have to match it with time that you have in your life too. But you're taking a specific amount of cash and you're putting it on a specific time frame. The second thing you need to do is you need to jump in on whatever time frame it is and need to understand what direction is the market moving in. There's only 3 major directions. It's either ranging, and this is the example that I used on Bitcoin, and I used my stochastic RSI to give me this. I did show this on the show today, but I'm going to show you guys this again. You have a strong leg to the upside, and what this means is a strong impulse, a pullback, and a strong push up. It's the same if it's the opposite on a strong leg down, where it's a strong push down, little leg up, strong push down. Now, if we have a look, what I did was I basically detected Bitcoin and I was like, okay, what did this thing do in the last bull market? And I basically got an understanding that it was giving me 100% pumps, 20 to 30% drops, 100% pump, 20 to 30% drops. And I sort of picked up that I want to know Bitcoin on the weekly. I now personally am no longer a short-term trader. I hold a large amount of my capital over higher periods of time. So I need to master this time frame because majority, like 80% of my money sits with the data on this time frame. So I can literally go back in Bitcoin's history and I can go see what does this token do when it's moving in one direction? What are the percentages that it moves? How does it actually work? Remember, guys, that not only do we have previous data, which makes it so much easier for us, it also gives us a little bit of understanding of setting a roadmap for ourselves. So by me being able to go back over here, I actually managed to simplify it and simplify it in this sense. Bitcoin on the weekly chart likes to move like this in a really strong bull run. It likes to give me plus minus around 100% on the pushes. On the retraces, it likes to give me 30% pullbacks, quick pullbacks, and then 100% pumps. Now I have a basic understanding that not only a weekly chart gives me 4 or 5 trades a year. These are the percentages and the sort of range, basic guys, basic range, plus minus range of what it does when the markets are moving up. That's great. Remember, guys, this is foundation. You can actually do this for a lot of the different time frames. Remember, if you're using a 1 hour, for example, you jump into the 1 hour, I can go see what the range is. So I can jump on now and be like, okay, cool. For the last day, let me actually clean this up and get this smaller. There we go. For the last day, how's this token been moving? It gave me a down, 2%. Gave me a up, 2%. Gave me a down, 2%. And it gave me a up, 3%. Do you see how I just had to go 1 day back to get a basic understanding of the data? Because this is clearly showing, yes, we've made a little higher high point over here, but what it's basically doing is it's not moving in one direction. This is a trending. So the same way that I just drew this piece over here, I can go do the exact same thing and be like, right now in the 1 hour as Bitcoin stands, the market's ranging and it's offering me 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%. That's what it's giving me right now. If I'm looking for a trade and the market's in that thing, at least I'm giving myself realistic understandings. Because some days we'll jump on and you'll be like, I need to make 5% today. No, but the market's ranging sideways. It's only offering 2%. So ultimately, you'd have to take a long and a short that day to get your percentage. But the fact that you can actually understand that's extremely powerful. So what I did was on the weekly here, I'll jump back to the different time frames and explain it to you guys. But I took the weekly and I got a basic understanding of what Bitcoin does in that time of the bull run. Okay. Secondly, what I did then is I went to go see, okay, We then went through a bear cycle, through a bear run. And then I saw 46% drop, 47% pump, a 55% drop, and basically gave me to the understanding, you can see how I rounded it off, that around 45% drops, 45% pushes to the upside, and a 45% to the downside. It's very important for me to understand this. If I want to now set a roadmap on making these gains, I need to understand what these tokens do throughout these times. We're very lucky to be going through nearly our third cycle now. If a bull run comes, another bull run comes, it's our third one. We've already been through 2 of them. They might slightly change, but the biggest thing is you don't ever want to jump on and trade a strategy. Let's say, like you can't jump on in a ranging market, but trade a strategy for bull leg or bull push up. That's where it catches you, because you end up holding trades for too long because you think it's going to go a lot more than what they actually do. The pullbacks are very fast, so you end up FOMOing in and these sort of things. So by you getting caught in trading in the wrong range is what gets you into a lot of trouble. Then what I did with Bitcoin is this ranging, where it's basically moving sideways. Remember, this doesn't have to move exactly sideways. It can do something like this, where it's still ranging, but it can be doing it at the angle. You'll see that many, many, many different times. But I'll show you that this is currently where Bitcoin's sitting at right now. Bitcoin at the moment is sitting in a range, and you could see it. Here we go. So as you can see with Bitcoin, we are actually getting 25% moves up, 25% moves down, 25% move up, 25% move down. So do you see what that does for me right now? Firstly, it shows me the realistic range that we are in right now and how I can make money right now. Once this pattern has broken and we've then shifted, I need to then shift into the new strategy of now we are going into momentum. We're going into a market that's starting to move strongly in one direction, which means I can't trade this part the same way that I was trading this one. But it also doesn't scare me where I stand right now, because I know how to trade this now, that I should be trading this for 20% ranges. When my RSI is at the bottom, as I see it is right now, you could see it, boom, to the top, and the same thing that we're sitting at right now. It's giving me indication we're in the bottom phase. Where's it giving me indication that we go to this area over here next? But do you see the power of just understanding what range we are in? And then when the range shifts, how you actually have to shift your mentality. You need to understand that as soon as, think about it, Bitcoin's sitting over here. As soon as Bitcoin's back above 18 or 19K again, it can actually break out of this range. And once we are out of this range, it can actually turn into this sort of market. Now, if you're only taking profits every 25% and you're trying to short and you're trying to do these things and you get stuck trading this in this, you get destroyed. Ask me and I'd actually love Mama Sniper and Craig to jump in here if possible. Ask them how we literally went through this whole wave. This whole wave, guys, this is where I started. This whole wave, I made no money. Like absolutely no money throughout this whole leg to the upside. Mom, do you remember this? I think we only started making like money here.
Yeah, I do.
Throughout these times, because I had no idea. And what the thing is, people don't understand that this is on every single time frame. So what this means, someone that asked just now on the 1 hour, I'm trading on the 1 hour. The first thing you do is you jump to that 1 hour and you see, what are we doing right now? What is that? Are we sideways? Are we going up? Or are we going down? Okay. Then what you got to do is you got to match the tools to them. So let me explain this. So if you look at a ranging, this is basically the same highs and the same lows. Okay. Which means a Fibonacci tool will not work here, because a Fibonacci tool teaches you that when the market's moving in one direction, you'll take the fib from the bottom to the top, and ultimately you want to buy the pullback. That's where you're loading up. And from that, it moves on to the next leg, right? That's basically what the Fibonacci tool does to the upside. To the downside, it's the same thing. You're taking from here, top to bottom, because you want to see from here to here. Okay, so using the Fibonacci either way on which direction we're moving. So if you have a look at a ranging market pulls a pullback like this. So if you use a Fibonacci, you're going to get stopped out many times because a Fibonacci tool is not going to work here. So what tools can you use for a ranging market? You can use horizontals, so previous support and resistance, because think about it. If we hold here and we bounce there, this is support, and we should continue to bounce on that support level. So ultimately, you will buy when we come to these supports. The question was asked this morning, how do you know when it's valid or when you're ranging? At least 2 touches. So if you got 1, 2, like they call it double bottoms or triple bottoms or these sort of things, these are areas where it's quite simple. Range trading, you buy the low, you sell the roof. Like you buy the floor, you sell the roof. You buy the floor, you sell the roof. Because basically it reaches the same levels every time. And it's the same thing when it moves to the upside. It will basically 1, 2 touches makes it valid, and it hits these areas. So the best way to trade this is a RSI. RSI and horizontals. That's basically it. And you can use a trend line as well. And I'll actually explain to you how you do that. So if we had to put ourselves in the situation, RSI has just gone up and now makes its way down to the floor. Okay. And you can see price comes down. And let's say that this was a previous level. Price comes down to this area. For me, that's a buy on that support, buying on a floor. Why is it so important to buy on a floor? Because if it breaks and it stops you out, you're breaking a lower low, which means retest and ultimately lower point of view. You never mind a stoppage as long as it's a stoppage that makes your next trade better. If it makes your next trade better, it's a successful stoppage. So ultimately what would happen is you would use a previous low to buy and the RSI over here to buy your initial order. So you can buy up to 60, 70% on that little buy. Then what would also happen in that time, if you want to add a third tool, so do you see what you're doing? You're actually looking at if the markets, let's say on the 1 hour or the 4 hour, any time frame. I don't want to confuse people with time frames, but let's say I'll talk about the 4 hour now. You're starting to study the 4 hour. You need to set yourself up 3 systems, and those 3 systems go like this. Okay, understanding firstly the time frames and how often you're going to trade. Secondly, if the market's ranging, what tools do you use to trade a ranging 4 hour chart? Secondly, you now have a strong bullish leg to the upside. What tools do you use? You need to give yourself that checklist. You know, that 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm allowed to take the trade. You have to have each of these. Do the work now, guys. Do it if it's sideways, if it's going up, or if it's going down. Exactly the tools and exactly the system that works with you throughout that time. Now, if this makes its way down over here, I can buy my initial amount over here. Secondly, well, the third little indicator or tool that will help is this would actually be forming a trend. Now, the problem is with the trend is it buys in a little bit late. It doesn't buy the bottom, it buys in late. So I like to use the trend as an adding tool, not my initial buy. My initial buy, I like to buy with the Fibonacci and horizontal lines. When it's making its way down to come test a critical level, I will buy up in that zone. Then what I'll do is I'll have the trend line in place. And once we break that trend and we've confirmed that now we are going to try and make our way up to the top of range, I'll add the rest of my trade in over here, stop loss under previous low, and basically drag that stop as I'm putting a support trend under it, which I'll show you shortly. So remember, guys, a ranging market, horizontal line, Fibonacci, trend line as an adding tool. And then the same thing that once you've got your buy order and now the market starts to make its way up, you can actually pop a trend under there so that if the question comes again, RSI out at the top, you know, you can ladder out 70, 80% of profits and the rest once we lose trend in case it decides to go a lot more. So remember not to confuse your tools. Have your tools selected on the right sort of understanding that a Fibonacci, you're looking to buy a higher low. You're looking for a golden zone. The problem is with the ranging market, it's meant to make lows on the same level. So you're going to get yourself stuck by confusing the tools. Then you have a directional move. Now, directional move is definitely in power of using Fibonacci and RSIs too. Definitely RSIs as well. And I suppose the trend lines as well. Definitely. So if we have a look over here, bottom to low, boom, 618 is where you want to buy. RSI, you want it to be tapped out to. And thirdly, you want a trend forming here so that you can add on the break of that trend as well. Remember the simplicity that when you have a ranging market, so for example, if the market's ranging, you're looking for reversal patterns. Okay? There could be a continuation like a sideways flag, but you're basically looking for reversal patterns. And when you have a directional move, you're looking for the continuation patterns. You're looking for these wedges, these flags. So when price comes up, it goes into a flag and then continues. Or you have the side flag, so it comes up, goes into the side flag, horizontal flag, and then continues. Remember, you're continuously looking for those patterns throughout these actual continuation moves. Guys, is there any questions before I continue?
So we've had loads of questions coming in through the chat. It's hard to sort of pick out, you know, from them. There was one that did come up. Rick H, if you are able to pop your camera on and unmute yourself, or just Clem,
sorry guys, I see someone says RSI, stochastic RSI, guys, stochastic RSI. Sorry.
Yeah, so this question was this question from Rick. Perhaps you can answer it in the meantime. While is that Rick coming on? Okay, we'll take those other two questions now. Let's say we entered a long when RSI is reset. Now we expect price to retest a trend line before continuing up. If we want to buy this retest of the trend line, do we expect the RSI to be reset or just buy?
Okay. You're explaining really in depth. Yeah, guys, I am going to go quite in depth with these. So the question is, if you're buying a reset RSI and then it breaks trend and it comes to retest that trend, do we need the RSI to be reset on the retest? Did I get that correct?
Yes, or do we just buy? So I can read.
Okay.
I can read it one more time. So let's say we enter it along when RSI is reset. Now we expect the price to retest the trend line before continuing up. If we want to buy this retest of the trend line, do we expect the RSI to be reset, yes, or do we just buy?
Yes. So reason being is, so if the market is doing something like this, okay, what does it mean? It means it's making lower highs and lower lows. That's all that a trend line's detecting for you. Okay, so what that means is if price breaks now, let's say you bought anywhere on the RSI low, that's fine. But if price breaks now, the first thing you're indicating is a higher high. That's the first thing. Okay, now how do you know when it's a higher high? RSI makes its way to the top. So throughout this little pattern over here, I'll actually move it over and show you guys. I'm gonna actually clear this and move this over so I can actually draw a RSI for you. So if I put this over here and let me put the trend lines in play. Boom. Trend line, trend line. Okay, amazing. So what it means is we decide RSI makes its way up, makes its way down, makes its way up, starting to make its way down. And price decides to break through and you end up getting a higher high. RSI is at the top. You could see it at the top, overbought, and it decides to turn down. And now price decides to make its way down. Okay, now the reason we broke trend was indicating for the first time we're going to be looking at making a possible higher high. And if we want a market to be moving up, we want higher high and higher lows. Very simple. So the reason why we've always split it into two on why we are buying the breakouts, because we're getting that little nuggets that possibly we're getting the first higher high. And then what we need is the second confirmation of the higher low. And that's basically the retest of that trend line. In that time, yes, you do want RSI to reset throughout that time. Reason being is, if price decides to come down over here, let's say price is over here, and then it starts to turn, and your RSI does this. It's very easy that this does this, and all of a sudden makes its way all the way down. And ultimately will catch you. Will get you caught up. So ultimately you'll be buying way too early, where it actually brings out the impatience. This is what's beautiful about the stochastic RSI, is the patience that it takes behind the stochastic RSI, that you're only allowed to buy when it's at that level of oversold or overbought. So it will basically teach you, no, this could not be done yet. We could still come down even lower and come down and test that trend again. So if this RSI is not at the bottom, you cannot add to your trade in your rule system, in your book, and you stick to it. Because if it teaches you, if you end up buying here, what are you doing for yourself? You're setting up, for example, that I can do this all the time, and you're going to end up getting yourself into a lot of trouble because you're not sticking to the basic rules of it needs to always be at the bottom. So every time you're buying or adding, this RSI must be reset. And that's just there to teach you to not front run and not try to be smart and try to outsmart the market. The market will always beat you at that. Cool. I think I answered that.
Great, thank you. I'm seeing some people enjoyed that answer, so I'm glad we answered that question. We've got Lindsay and Sebastian ready to chat. Sebastian, go for it, and then Lindsay will come to you next.
Yes, I had a question. It's related. It was based on the course material during the week. For the day trading, you recommended using the stochastic RSI on a 4-hour time frame, but I was wondering if the stochastic RSI works well on a 1-hour time frame, or if there's a better indicator for trading with the one hour chart.
Yeah, so the stochastic does work really well with the 1 hour.
Yes.
It does. It works perfectly fine, and it works the same way. The reason why I sort of went with the 4 hours just because I've done a lot of 1 hour trading, and I actually learned that trading twice a week is more powerful than trading every day. So this was just my personal. I will be adding in our strategies and stuff. I will add that in for the next cohort. But for me, the 1 hour is just it works. I promise you it works, and I can show you now. Actually,
the lower the time frame, would you say it gets more and more imprecise, or it's more and more precise?
Yeah, it just gets you like, you end up playing for pennies. You know what I mean? So you end up playing for very small percentages. You'll be putting a stop loss for 0.2% for like a 2% gain. It's still a very big risk to reward. But ultimately, if you trade on the 4 hour, like think about it. If you traded the 1 hour chart on Bitcoin, the RSIs work. You could trade this. Think about it. I'll actually show you. So basically start in this position over here. You short your way down to the bottom. There you would have bought. Cool. You went all the way to the top. There you would have sold. Went all the way down to the bottom. You would have bought in this area over here. Went to the top. You would have sold. You wouldn't have bought until this area over here. Now let's quickly put that into play. You would have made 1.6%. You would have made, 1.4%. You would have made, so unless it's very like small accounts, small leveraged, it was worth it for me on 1 hours. But if it's spot accounts and you're just trading normal capital, the 4 hours are way better for me because they give me way higher percentage moves. They give me way bigger.
For doing some practice trading, it's good.
Go crazy, go crazy. Yes, go 15 minutes even. No, go crazy, go 5 minutes even, go wild, because you'll see the same thing, same patterns, same style, same everything on any different time frame. So use them to get good, definitely. Amazing.
Cool, go for it, Lindsay. Thanks, Sebastian.
Hi, hello everybody. It's actually that chart that you just got on that I was interested in. Using this strategy, say the 12-hour strategy, if I'd have entered, I would have got stopped out by the wick shortly after the first short. So I'm sort of interested in this strategy, saying the 12-hour strategy, about doing it just on spot. Would you still have stop losses, or would you be buying and selling? How does the stop loss work with this strategy?
Is this longing or shorting? I'm just making sure.
Either way. So the chart you just had shortly, where you were saying, in the RSIs at the top, short it, buy, etc. But on each of those, if you're putting your stop losses in, you're cancelling the trade. And do you just forget about it then until you go? But you'd be getting stop lossed quite a lot.
Yes. So this is where the combination of the tools, work really well. firstly, if you're looking to short, like I'll jump on I'm on a 12-hour here, just on Bitcoin, for example. And ultimately, when it hits this area over here, remember what the stochastic RSI is there for. It's just telling you prep for longs or prep for shorts. Okay. So when it gets to this top area over here, it's just saying a short is better than a long right now. Very simple. Secondly, what you do with that is you actually have these major trend lines. So you'll go find the nearest trend. Okay. This helps a lot. So if you're struggling with stop losses, this strategy will help you a lot. It means let's not work with just trying to guess where the tops and the bottoms are by using fib or anything like that. Actually, just use it when the trends really break and you're getting confirmation that the market's definitely moving down. So what you would have done is, get ready for a short. And ultimately, you have this trend line and this play over here in play. And once this has basically made its way down and we decided to break this, would be the indication to enter the short, to enter the retest, and then basically use these lines as your TPs on the way down. So this is usually how I use shorts because, remember what I'm actually looking for. I'm looking for, let me jump onto the 8-hour here, just for example. But once the market moves up, I'm looking for it to go sideways because I know sideways indicates that we're going to have a different directional move next. Okay, either a continuation, so it'll be a continuation pattern, or it will be a rejection and a fast drop to the downside. So if I see that this market's now making its way to the upside, the first thing I'm going to do is have a look at the RSIs, definitely. Secondly, I'm going to put the nearest trend in play. Thirdly, I'm going to take the horizontal, the nearest support horizontal, to mark out where is that, because I know that's the strong point. And ultimately, once we drop the major zones of up, down, breakdown, that's more or less where I'd enter my actual orders. So I don't know. I wish you guys could share screen, man, because then I can understand exactly what you are saying to make sure I'm answering the question correctly. I don't want to get too complicated.
It was more on the chart that you just
let's
did.
have a look here. This one.
Yeah. So the first trade, the first circle you put on.
This one. Oh, this wick.
Yeah. So if I'd have entered a short there, I would have got stopped out by that wick.
Yes. So
each one of those trades, the second one, I'd have got stopped out by the following wick. So then I started thinking, well, do I just do this on spot and not put the stop losses in per se? Or how do I manage the trades with stop losses? Would I re-enter when I got wicked out? That's what I'm confused about.
Yes. So ultimately, what this was doing, I do agree with you. This was it's been a tricky few days with Bitcoin, to be honest. Sometimes it is going to be tricky like this. It's not always like this where you have these crazy wicks, but ultimately this did fake out. It would have stopped you out, definitely. And ultimately, if you understood candles, this wick and this big reversal here, like where all of a sudden we have this wick and then it gets sold into completely, would have given you an indication that that was a fake out. When you have this crazy candle get sucked in like this, and ultimately you could have entered the short again, of course. But yes, saying no stop losses, I would rather move to a higher time frame to avoid that, to be honest. So a higher time frame, the wicks aren't crazy like this. It's the 1 hour and the 15 minutes where the wicks are there and you're basically trying to snipe. But a 4 hour, you won't really fight that problem as much at all. And obviously the higher you get as well. So I think go to higher time frames for now, get it right, and then you can start making your way back down to the lower time frames.
Unfortunately, sometimes Lindsay, with those wicks that you see as well, when the markets are so volatile, but sometimes we do get that, they call it stop hunts, where sometimes the exchanges will see there's too much leverage on a trade put out, so they'll actually do some stop hunts, which is quite sneaky, and obviously we can't prove it, but we obviously, once you start seeing it, sometimes you can see that it was sneaky moves done by an exchange or by somebody.
I just don't know whether to re-enter at that point or just cut my losses and wait for the next signal on the RSI.
Yes, exactly. So you got to wait for the RSI to reset again and everything again, and you got to go again. Remember, you can lose 5 out of 10. So ultimately give yourself those 5 losses. A week like that does happen. Now, remember, just to double check sometimes that there isn't any, like Maria says here, sometimes there's Fed meetings and there's stock market, you know, when these things come, that's usually what creates a lot of the wicks, is when there's like a big announcement or things like that. So just be aware of that as well. It also hits us all the time and it's quite annoying. So the whole purpose of it.
So Sheldon, with those calendar events, like the big meetings, and you don't know when they are, the best thing is really to go to a website, forexfactory.com, and just register a free account there and set your time zone that you're in. And then there's a section there called the calendar, and it shows you week by week. So this week you can have a look and just scan down. It will show you exactly what time it is going to be, and it flags it as red if it's going to have a big effect on the market. And the ones I always look for are the ones that are in the USA. The USA ones are big. So for example, actually what date are we now? I'm just going to go and look forward for this next week. So if you look at it, so it's forexfactory.com/calendar, but open up your account first, which is free, and just put your time zone in. And then this Friday, for example, at 3:30, which is South African time, there's the core PPI, which is producer price index, which is 3:30. So you're going to get huge wicks on those ones. Absolutely. Especially the first Friday of every month is something called non-farm payroll, which was last Friday. And you've just got to go back to last Friday's charts at 3:30 and have a look at the impact of what it does, you know. So bottom line, be out of the market if you're doing short-term trading in those times.
Yeah, it sucks, but the market's reacting quite a bit on this stuff lately because there's not as much volume. So you would probably see it's these wicks. It's the news and the FUD. We do hit it quite a few times. But just remember, just wait for the reset of those RSIs again and do the same thing again. That's it.
Okay.
You got to win 5. You got to win 5 out of 10, and that's ultimately it. Stoppage is good. You know, it's good. Sometimes you get the unlucky wick that comes down. It is what it is. You know, we hit the next one and you'll see. Just be consistent. That's all you got to be. And you'll see how it works in your favor.
Brilliant. Thank you.
That's a
Awesome.
pleasure.
Thanks, Lindsay. Oh, we've got so many questions, so many hands. Just want to remind you, I did put it in the chat. If you have a question that is going unanswered this evening, please post it in the forums, because Sheldon will either get
I'll be on
it
tomorrow night.
and or somebody else in the community may be able to answer you. So please don't let your question get lost in the chat here in Zoom. Post it in one of the Discord forums so we can capture the important alpha for each of the questions that you guys have. April has been waiting very patiently for a long time. I'm going to take 2 more questions, and then Sheldon, you'll just let me know how you want to move on, what else you want to show, and how I can support you there. So let's hear from April, and then Ikechukwu, if I did pronounce your name correctly. If I can ask you guys to both keep your questions nice, deep, and brief, so we can continue on with the other stuff that Sheldon wants to show us. So go for it, April.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Mama Sniper. I was so happy to find somebody who was in theta as much as I was when
Awesome, April.
when I found Sheldon's channel. I couldn't find anybody who really understood it the way I wanted to. My question is about Bybit. So let's say you're doing a trade and you put a short on and you have 250 USDT. So you lock that up. When you go to take profits, it won't allow you to put it at, let's say you buy at 92 and sell at 98. How do you set that sell once that USD is locked up? Is it on a different setting? So
it's where your position is open, you mean?
Correct. So my position's open and I have a stop loss at, let's say 91, but I want to also set something to sell at 97. Will it allow me to stack those, or what's the process to do that?
Is this on spot or on the futures platform?
On spot, and that's what I'm asking. Does it go
on spot? Yes. So that is the annoying thing. So I will have a look. So I think when you take the trade, I just want to double check. When you take the actual trade, it should give you that TP and SL.
Correct.
That you're able to set it in. Yes. I know if you just do it with the USDT, you just put a stop loss. I know it does take away the funds, and then how do you put a TP as well if it's taken away? So I'll actually have a look for you, Mum. Will you have a look there quick?
Yeah, sure, will do.
And then we can just double check. We'll get back to you now on that now. And
was that on
Thank
Bybit?
you.
Bybit.
Bybit, correct.
So we'll double
On the
check.
stock
I'm
exchange
used to
Bybit, they don't have an OCO, you know, one order cancels the other.
but they should have, like the futures platform, they should have the edit button where you can edit in your stop loss or your TP in at any point on your position. We'll have a look. We'll have a look for you
I've
now
got
and
a
see
spot
what
trade going there now, so I'll have a look.
So if you can't, you just have to watch for your level to sell if it's
No,
not.
that sucks. That sucks. No, no, no.
Right?
You don't want you don't want to have to do that. No, no, no. That
No, you
sucks.
can put it in.
Let's see. Let's have a look. Yeah.
Sheldon, I trade spot on Bybit, and you can enter your take profit on there.
And your
So
your take profit and your stop loss.
You see, you don't have a position open
So
because when
you go
spot,
to your
buy it,
position at the bottom, April. So once you've entered into the trade, you go below the open long button, open short button. You'll see your position there.
That's on futures, Jay.
That's on futures,
on
right?
spot. No, on spot.
It's on spot, okay.
Yeah. So you'll have your quantity of coins that you got, and then you go to your TP button where you got close. So you press a close. This is on a long now. So you press close, you press TP, and then you enter the quantity that you want to sell at whatever price you want to sell. You've got an option whether you want to close it with a limit order or market order, and then you press that close button or the short button. It's the same button, the red button. And then you'll see your order sitting there on the left-hand side at the bottom.
Okay.
But it is definitely there.
Okay, let's see if Baba Sniper, if you can bring it up. It would be nice if we can just show everyone.
Yeah, there have been requests if we can view that in the chat.
Yes, yes. Let's see if we can. We'll see if we can get it up. Thanks,
cool.
Jay.
Cool. While we're waiting for that, let's just hear very briefly from Ikechukwu. Please go ahead and share your question. Let's keep it as quick as possible so we can move on.
Okay,
go for it, sir.
Everyone. Yeah, my question is, the issue I keep having is I have issue with time because of my work. It's always busy for me. So I'm trying to see what time frame that will suit me, that will help me to meet up with the trading. So I'm considering for a day trader, what is the best you can use that will help you? A day trader, what's the best you can use? The best time frame?
So the 1 hour is pretty good on altcoins, but like for me, if you're working, I would only be trading twice a week now. I wouldn't be trading more than that just yet, because if you miss one on the daily, you've missed it. You know, it gets quite tough to manage, because, you know, maybe your RSI is at the top at 1 o'clock in the morning. You know, then what must you do? You know, because it's 1 in the morning, and then maybe your buy is at 3 in the afternoon, or like, that's the problem with the 1 hour, is it comes quite often, but it comes at odd different times within. So I'd be using the 4 hour, because which probably gives you 2 to 3 trades a week. So if I actually have a look here, I'll see if I can find the 4 hour and see what's the date again for the 12. Yeah, so you would have 3 trades a week with the 4 hour, which is enough, brother. It's enough for you to start, and enough for you to start to gain momentum. Once your account gets to $50,000, then you become day trader, and you can practice on the 1 hour and all these sort of things. For now, just get consistent with the 4 hour. 3 times enough is good. The only reason I'm saying that is because the market is boring at the moment. So it's not giving lots of percentages. You see, if it goes into bull run and all of a sudden the market starts to rally in one direction, then we can do more day. But right now, the best way to make money is on the 4 hour, because it's only trading 2-3 times a week. You're making 10-12% every time you trade, and you just do that consistent, and you'll see how it will grow your accounts. The daily is only offering 1 or 2%. So for now, brother, just get the 4 hour right, and then you can focus on the 1 hour.
So Sheldon,
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Sheldon, I think Jordan is on the Zoom. If you are there, Jordan, you can unmute yourself from Bybit. He'll know the answer, but I can't see it on there. And also Bitcoin's doing a little bit of a drop off at the moment.
So what I will do is tomorrow on the show, I'll actually show on the show. I need to give Bybit some love.
Jordan
So
is,
definitely.
Jordan is on the show. I just don't know if you can.
Yeah, but I need
yourself.
to continue. Yeah. Let me know, Jordan. Let me know. Okay, cool. I see Bitcoin making its way down at the moment. See the 4 hours. Why you gotta love the 4 hour chart. So now we want to see where's Bitcoin going. So let's pull some tools out here so we can have a look. We only want to buy when Bitcoin hits this area over here. Okay, that's the only time. But right now, it's definitely the shorts are gone. So there's no short opportunity, but it is showing in the next few hours, there's a long opportunity coming. So now what it basically means is I need to prep. I need to get ready for this. So what I would do is, where is nearest support? This is the nearest support over here. Okay, which is great. And what is this? This is clearly a directional move. It's not trending. It's not going sideways, right? So let's go back here. Where's my other chart? But you can see that it's a move up. Okay, which means pullback. So it means my Fibonacci becomes a powerful little tool that I can use within this. Let's have a look from that wick over there to the top. Boom. Look where the 618 is marking. So 618 is marking exactly on that support area there over as well. So you see what I've done. I've now set myself 3 tools. The first one is the horizontal. That's one, the horizontal support. The second one is the trend line. The third one is the Fibonacci. And the fourth one is the stochastic RSI. So as a 4 hour trader, when this gets to the bottom, if these levels are respected, that's where I'm buying Bitcoin. After that, what I'd be doing is I'd be putting my risk to reward. So I'd basically go in over here. I put in my risk to reward tool over there. I'm putting a stop loss under the trend. So you can see it's around about a 1%. And then I'd be looking at the horizontal. So let me move this over so we can see. There we go. And now let's put in some horizontal lines to see where I would take profits. Basically that level over there, and those are the next 2 ones. If I look, my first one, this one's pretty good. It's a nearly a 5% profitable trade. This is Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin's a lot more less volatile than the rest of the tokens. But ultimately, I'm looking at a 5% reward, maybe even an 8% reward. But ultimately, the first trade is showing me a 1 to 5. So it's worth taking the trade. It's worth for me to buy in this area, to put a stop slightly at the bottom of that area over there. Setting the TP at the previous high. So you see how you basically, the 4 hour, this is the best strategy, is to use stochastic, the Fibonacci, the trend line, and the horizontal supports to buy these pullbacks. Now remember, if the market's trending sideways, it's different. You can't use the Fibonacci for that. But we can see very clearly that the market's moving in a direction. And you can see, if I had to have a look at this wave over here, I'm pretty sure if I had to put 618 to the dollar. So you see how powerful it is by using this fib tool. And remember, I would basically use, this is what I see would happen. That price would come down, price would probably go up, it would come down, and then probably make its way up to that area. So ultimately, this will form a trend at some point. So I would buy on this pullback and fill up my positions, and I would add more. When we break the trend, I'd add the remaining in, move my stop loss up, and continue the actual move. So remember, guys, ultimately, I'm going to push a lot more on this next week. But ultimately, I'm going to show you how we can make sure that we build the tool system for every single time frame. And then understand how to split your portfolio and to match it exactly with the time frame, with the set of tools. The only thing you got to ask yourself, or the major thing you have to understand, is what is the market moving in? Let's see if I can find the, where's my little tool thing that I do? Is it going sideways? Is it going up? Is it going down? That's the big question. And ultimately, we have to set up the structure for each of those so you can shift at any single point. I think that's it my side, you know?
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I think we, if there's maybe 1 or 2 more questions before we close out, or I don't know if you wanted to sort of just speak into any of the journaling stuff. Happy to leave it up to you. I know we are probably like sort of, we've got probably 5 more minutes with you before we send you off. So yeah, happy to either take 1 or 2 more questions, and then we can close out.
Yeah, so we can take one or two questions, definitely. So the journal is great. I just wanted to do, I actually want to record a week now of actual trading. Maybe we can even do some live trading sessions and actually update a new sort of trading journal to show the power of how you actually use it. And I obviously want to incorporate it people as well. But I think the big thing was just to understand, firstly, that you need to build a structured tool business with each time frame now so that you have that foundation set. And now I'm going to teach you how we use this trading journal to better yourself. So firstly, if you win a trade, put a reason why you want to trade so you can keep doing more of that. If you lost a trade, put the reason why you lost a trade. I'm getting stopped. If you got stopped, don't just say I got stopped. Say I got stopped and price went lower, so it was a successful stop loss. Or price came down, stopped me up and kept going. That's a bad stop loss. You know, you got to start giving yourself the basic pointers from that so that we can tweak it on the actual charts and all that. And I think what would be nice next week is if I can actually have one or two people jump on with a chart or with their trading journal or something that I can actually go through with them and help a lot with that.
So just wanted to point out there's some great stuff happening here in the Discord that if you have a moment through the week to check in the Post Your Charts forum, just based on what you're talking about. First Aid over here, you know, posted the detail of, I won't keep it up for too long, but posted the detail of everything that you're describing. And there was lots of losses, but we're hoping that with all the things you're learning, you know, you're gonna shift that over time. So I think I know we didn't get around to exactly what we had said we were going to cover this evening, but I think loads has been covered, and I think you've shared so much useful information. But just to say to everybody, I know it might seem like you're posting into the ether there, but Sheldon eyes will come onto some of the stuff through this next week and beyond, so it's not going to go unseen. And then again, to the community, if any of you have commentary on any of the things that anybody is posting here in this Post Your Charts forum, let's keep that commentary going. I think it's so useful to have feedback on the charts, on the journals. I saw Squatter Boy had added like a major question around,
so Gina, I'll focus hard on this stuff tomorrow. So remember, guys, I'm doing Tuesday and Thursday. So I'll focus really hard on this tomorrow, on going through people's journals and going through all these things. So I'll be on, guys, 5 o'clock. What's the time? It's 3 p.m. GMT. Is that right?
That's the one.
3 p.m. GMT. I'll be on Discord. Be there. More alpha, more alpha, more alpha. I promise.
Cool. So Sheldon is officially off the hook now. I know Grant wanted to share something with all of you guys, which I'm going to hand over to Grant in a moment. Sheldon, thank you so much. Mama Sniper, Craig, Jason, thank you so much for your time. I did mention in the chat, we do have an upcoming AMA with Mama Sniper later this week, and I will be sharing the details of what she'll be covering and when you can expect that to happen and where. So keep an eye on the Discord announcements. And then also some super exciting stuff. I did mention we had a little secret or surprise, not a secret, a surprise for you. And that is for those of you who weren't in our session this morning, that for our final workshop next week, for the 6 p.m. GMT time, we are going to be welcoming Gareth Soloway to the fold. For those of you that have followed Gareth on Run's show and the rest of the banter shows, he will be joining us. He is a legendary trader with loads of experience and lots of alpha to share. So between him and Sheldon, I think we're going to walk away with an amazing sort of closure to our final workshop. So please, get your lessons completed. Make sure you are sticking around in the Discord for all the updates on that. And we also look forward to celebrating the winning team at the final workshops next week. So before I show the leaderboard, and we'll spend some time in the breakout rooms for those of you that want to hang around and share your learnings from the week or your highlights, I'm going to hand over to Grant to share some stuff with you.
Thanks so much, Gina. Amazing, guys. I'm not going to keep you too long. Very, very quickly. We're on a mission here at Crypto School, if you hadn't already realized it. We want to see the world adopting crypto. We want to see Bitcoin becoming absolutely an international reserve currency. And for that reason, we really want to ask for your help to get our social media off the ground. So we launched it a few days ago and we've seeded it with the first 5 posts. And we're really going for quality over quantity here. I'm going to show you guys a clip in a moment and just share my screen. But really, I'd love to make an appeal to all of you. If you believe in crypto, if you want to see this thing go far, if you've gotten value from the school, support us and support yourself and support everyone by helping us get the word out about crypto and educate people for free through our intro course and teach them to trade and become financially free through the Sniper course. So without further ado, let me show you quickly what I'm talking about on the page so you have a sense of what I'm asking you to share. And then if I can ask Kim, please, to post into the chat just the URLs. I think you can find them at the bottom of the latest YouTube workshop stream for all of the socials, so that the guys can find them. And then also we'll post those on the Discord if you guys want to do that in the morning rather when you're fresh, if it's the evening there for you. But yeah, let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. Just going to share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, good. You can.
Cool. Alrighty, so you'll see we've got a nice 63 likes there, so we're really needing some love. And a beautiful piece of news came out of Africa today. It's the first major crypto conference. And this reporter from CNBC, who represents the mainstream media in some ways, has really just had an unbelievable insight into what's happening in Central African countries with Bitcoin. And how, even though it's so volatile and even though where we are at, it's still safer than the insane inflation that they're experiencing. And so many people, there's actually thriving economy in Nigeria and Ghana at the moment. And it's super interesting stuff. So I'm going to play like a 30-second from here and then say one more thing, and then we'll go from there.
Lost most of its value, Bitcoin can become the safer and more accessible option. Now, mining for Bitcoin in some cases is creating a financial incentive to build infrastructure to harness stranded renewable energy and then make that power accessible to communities through microgrids. Another point here, Seema, there's a delegation from Lagos led by Bernard Para. And what's especially interesting about Nigeria is that the government has outright banned crypto, very hostile to it, yet
Okay, you get that? I'm just going to slow this down a little bit. The government has banned crypto, and yet
the market is absolutely thriving. A lot of Nigerians I've spoken with see Bitcoin as a tool in fighting back against an oppressive government. So these are the use cases that people on the ground here are really excited about.
Cool, guys. So please head on over to our socials, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Reddit, TikTok, you name it, we got it. And we'd love to get your support. Please like the posts that are there if you like them. You know, be authentic. That's one of our values. and obviously comment and share. And the idea is that when people land for the first time on crypto, people are scared. They don't know what it is yet. They're looking for information that's credible and for a community of people that they can trust. And we're really endeavoring to be that community. And so please help us as we help you and everyone to get this to the world. That's me.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing, Grant. So just to echo what Grant is saying, go in there, give us the love, share the love, spread the love. Yeah, let's keep this crypto school community growing across the globe. I see Jordan is now able to unmute himself. So Jordan, if you want to go ahead, for anyone who has a couple of extra minutes to come back to the question on Bybit that April had, if you want to go ahead. I'm just looking for you on my screen, Jordan. Kim, I don't know if you're able to spotlight on your side, that would be great. And then in the meantime, while we are waiting for Jordan to come up, I have noted some concerns that we didn't cover the portfolio, some of the portfolio pieces that we had promised with regards to managing your journal and then how to separate your businesses this evening. So what I'm thinking is I'll chat to Sheldon tomorrow and see where we can host those sessions to make sure that if you aren't able to attend because of the timeline, whether we can record those. So we'll try and figure out a solution so everybody can access that information if he's going to be covering some more of that tomorrow. So did note some of those concerns in the chat and we'll follow up tomorrow. All right, cool. Go for it, Jordan. Welcome.
Hi there. Sorry, I seem to have some issues with my camera. I think it's my VPN or something, but I'm here. Hi, everybody. I'm absolutely just over the moon impressed by what I've witnessed here tonight. I was a little bit late, but wow, such engagement, such interesting strategies. I mean, Sheldon really comes with a unique mindset and so beautiful. I mean, he's so good at breaking it down. And you've obviously got a beautiful team here. You've got me on the Bybit side. I mean, our road is just paved to the moon. So as you can tell, you can't see, but you can hear that I'm very excited. So yeah, any burning questions, let me know. I'm always available on Telegram for anyone who needs me. So yeah, I'll take any questions now. Any more complex questions, I'm happy to go through in DMs with anyone.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jordan. On your offer to take people through questions, as this community grows, it might be thousands of questions that come your way. So what might be a valuable opportunity is for you to host an AMA for our community, and we can take that offline and set something up to suit you. So we can either try and aim for this year or set something up for early in the new year.
Anytime.
Thank you. Does anyone want to just sort of ask Jordan 1 or 2 questions now while we're here before we head out into the breakout rooms? So to come back to the question.
Don't be shy.
April,
Don't be shy.
Oh,
come back
hi
to the
there.
question.
I'll just say quick. Hi, Jordan. My name's Chantel. I just put it in the chat. Thank you for sponsoring me for Sniper School. I really, really appreciate that. It's fantastic, helpful.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So thank you for your sponsorship.
Awesome.
So
Thank you,
lovely to
Chantal.
hear. It's just the beginning. Just the beginning.
Awesome. Thanks, Chantal. April, are you
Hello?
still on with us? Yes. Yes. Who's speaking with us?
Hello, yes, my
I
name
am.
is,
Sorry, guys.
I had a quick question for you.
Go for it.
When you're, I get a little confused, like when you pull up your trading view, right? And you pull up charts there and you're charting, but then you go to place the trade at somewhere like KuCoin. Are you supposed to use the same exact chart? Because if I'm setting my lines or whatever in a trading view, then I
I've
go
got
to
you.
another
I've
chart.
got you. Brilliant question. And
Okay.
yes, of course. Yes. So you must understand that every single exchange, it's a different pair. It's a different, I mean, it's the same pair, but it's a different pair. It's on a different exchange. There's a different order book. The liquidity is completely different. Your wicks will be different. Literally, if you're entering on any kind of a last traded price, it's going to be drastically different. So yes, on any chart. And if you're struggling to find the charts, probably what you're struggling with is on TradingView, like say you want to use the Bybit BTC USDT perpetual, you just type BTC USDT.p, and then you'll see all the perpetuals pop up. And of course, just look for on TradingView, the exchange that you're trading on. So do your charting on the Bybit TradingView chart or the KuCoin trading chart. Yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Okay, yes, excellent.
And now
And
just to add to that, we actually have on Bybit integrated TradingView alerts. So you can actually have alerts on your actual TradingView account on the same Bybit pair. So it's all very integrated.
Okay, and I have one more for you if I could. I'm trying to get into Sniper School, but I think I might have made a mistake. I actually I signed up for Bybit after I with you guys' link, with Crypto Banner's link, but I signed up after I applied for the trading Sniper School. Will it still apply since I signed up for the Bybit later?
Yeah, no, it should be fine. Let me know if there are any problems. I can help with that.
Okay, yeah, because I was getting nervous about that, because it has to be you have to have all that by the first week, right? If you get into trading school, you have to make sure your 250's in and you're sponsored, right?
Yeah, but if you have any problems, yeah, come to me in my DMs personally. We'll sort it out.
Okay, and what's your DM?
I'll drop it again. I'm going to drop it right now.
Okay, thank you.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jordan. I think we do have a bunch of people who are in this call that may still be waiting for that confirmation from Bybit's side. So our team can also be in touch with you to push for the people who are still waiting. We know that people have been super patient, and it's been, people are really keen to get moving with the course. But yeah, thank you for your question. I see Beth has a question. Go for it, Beth.
Hey guys, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you so much. So this may be a stupid question, but sometimes I'll find myself on Bybit, like taking a long, it's just a 1x, and then I'll see it going reverse. So then I'll just go ahead and open up a short on the same, and I'm doing like very small amounts, but is there any point in doing that? And if so, or if not, why or why not?
Yeah, it's a cool question. Obviously, it relates to a hedging strategy. So make sure, of course, that you're on the hedge mode. and then start to learn to understand what happens in a hedging strategy, because it's kind of a normal strategy turned on its head. For those who are experienced, I mean, Sheldon obviously knows a lot about hedging. It seems fine, it seems safe, it seems great until you close the one trade, and then you're like, oh my word, now all of a sudden this liquidation is right here. I thought I was on cross, I thought everything was fine. So it's the kind of strategy that does come after you master a kind of binary strategy where you're opening separate trades. So like if it's going against you, you're opening more trades, bigger and bigger, until it finally goes your way, and then you go into profit on all of them. A hedging strategy is slightly different. You open a long and a short at different times, and then when you're comfortable in profits on either of them, you bank the profits, you wait till you're in the profits on the next one, and you bank that one. But what you need to understand is, of course, you need to have significant equity to bring your liquidations far enough on cross so that even when you close the one hedge, you still have what we call an infinite liquidation. It's like a liquidation that can't be reached. And these are more in-depth questions. So I think we should really organize like a nice hour session where I can actually just take all of the questions and share my screen and show you everything.
No, that'd be very helpful, because I don't understand the fees either. Like, I really don't understand the fees on Bybit. I know they've been pretty minimal, but yeah, that would be awesome if you could do that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, they seem more complex than they are, the funding fees on the perpetuals, which is probably what you're referring to. It's actually relatively straightforward. It's just the longs funding the shorts in a mechanism to anchor the perpetuals price to the spot price. And basically, if you're hedging, as it sounds like you are, your longs will fund your shorts and your shorts will fund your longs, which I'm sure you're starting to figure out. But it is a bit more in depth.
Great. Thank you so much.
Cool. So very, very briefly, we want to jump into the breakout rooms because it is getting late now. So April, you want to quickly repeat your question for Jordan while we've got him here? And then maybe perhaps Jordan can take that away and come back with like a more detailed, focused AMA for us.
That would be great. My question is when you set a stop loss on Bybit, and let's say you have 250 USDT and you use the whole 250 USDT, and now you want to set a take profit, but you can't because it's locked up the USDT for you to set that level. And the gentleman before said that there is a way of doing this. I was wondering if we could get a video or...
Hold on. Sorry, April, are you referring to spot now?
Yes, I believe I am, just because when
So what you can do, if you start entering into the space where you'd like to use take profits and stop losses on spots, there's nothing stopping you from trading on the perpetuals with a 1x. And you can easily just use the entire mechanism. You can use a 1x, you can trade just as you would. You'll actually get better volatility on the perpetuals. And yeah, then you're just using, I mean, you can have take profits on all of your contracts, obviously, and stop losses on all of your contracts. Obviously, you would want to break them down into limit take profits and limit stops.
On the derivative side?
Yeah, but you'll use a 1x. And then, of course, there are actually ways to do that on the spot platform. But when you're starting to use a stop and a take profit, it means that you're kind of ready to go to maybe a 1.2x or something like that. So head over to the derivatives, start to learn. I mean, that's what derivatives are there for, so that we can use stops, so that we can use take profits. That's basically, the order book is built differently. The liquidity is there for us. And yeah, you're welcome to obviously keep trading on spot. You'll see obviously less fees there. And if you want to, so what you're telling me is you want to have a limit stop for your entire spot position, and you want to have a limit take profit for your entire spot position.
Right, because my question to Sheldon was, since it's locked up the USDT and I can't set a take profit, do I have to just sit and watch it and sell when it hits, if I buy it at 89 and it's at 93?
I mean, the idea there is that there's some kind of mental levels involved in trading spot. When you look, the distance between your stop and your take profit will be quite fast, and you'll be aware when it's heading to a stop. You'll set your stop. You'll be aware when it's heading to the take profit. If you're trading spot on highly volatile coins, I would say move over to the perpetuals and learn to use take profits, learn to use stops, learn to use the trailing stop, the conditional orders, because you're obviously entering into a more advanced area. Spot is mostly, I want to sell now, or I want to set a limit order to buy there, and then I'll set a limit order to sell that up there. Let me double check for you. I'll take your name. I'm writing it down now. So I know there is another mechanism there for the spot trading. So I'll confirm that with you.
I know you can do it on
April. April, I'm so sorry. I'm going to jump in and be the dictator that I have to be in our Zoom calls. So sorry to stop you short there, Jordan. I really appreciate you just jumping in and taking on some of these questions. But I think there's clearly going to be huge value if we actually set up an AMA. So I will get your details from the team and we can just connect to figure out some time where anyone who's got questions on Bybit specifically can check in with you. And then also we can add you to our Discord server if you are not part of it already. And you know, any questions that come up in the forums regarding Bybit, you can also jump in whenever you have a moment. So thank you for being with us at our workshop too. Really appreciate your time. And to everybody who joined us this evening or this morning, if you are across the world in somewhere in the Americas, thank you so much. We are going to jump into the breakout rooms. We'll keep the breakout rooms open for 30 to 45 minutes. And then thereafter, if you're still having a very interesting, amazing conversation, want to encourage everyone to jump into the Discord, to the Sniper Chill and Chat, where people can share screens and continue to connect for the remainder of what's left of the 5th of December. So thank you, everybody. And we'll catch up with you in the week. I'll post the leaderboard in Discord for those of you that missed it. Let's jump into the breakout rooms.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.